And these are the real reasons why it took me a full year to finally succeed. What is going on, guys? My name is Arie and welcome back to another video. In this one, I wanted to talk about all of the reasons why I think most people fail with dropshipping and the reasons that made me fail for so long in the beginning. As you guys may or may not know, I have been doing this for about a year and a half, and for the full first year, I was failing miserably. I would make barely any sales. It took me like 5 months to make my first sale, and then after that, it took me a full 6 months to finally get any sort of consistency, and I was, negative in my ad spend for that whole entire year pretty much, and it was awful, but I kept pushing through and eventually made it to where I am today. And I just want to mention quickly, guys, all these tips that I'm about to say, all these things, all these reasons are all things that I did myself, and these are the things that I wish I would have known back then. That would have actually made me successful much quicker. The new store that I started actually is at, I don't know if you can see, but this is the $6,000 day in a row, and this is the same store that I did the $0 to $1,000 in sales in a week challenge when I started my YouTube channel about almost a month ago. But yeah, now it's at consistent $1,000 days. I think we'll end the month off at maybe 15,000 or even 20,000. So that's amazing. Looking to scale it through the roof. But anyways, that's not what this video is about. I just really want to talk exactly about the reasons that I believe make people fail. And the first, let's just dive right into it. I believe the first reason is actually not doing enough research at the beginning and then doing too much research afterwards. So I know that sounds kind of counterintuitive, but for me personally, when I first started my first month on Shopify dropshipping, I did not do enough research. I dove right into Facebook ads, started dumping started dumping money into it, had like $20 budgets for all my ads, but I had no idea what I was doing in terms of targeting, in terms of having a site that converts well, none of that. So I just started, putting all this money in, and before I knew it, I was $700 down. Oh my God! On Facebook ads with absolutely no sales, and I was just crushed. Okay, I was very crushed. I did not know what to do after that, and honestly, I quit. I quit dropshipping after that for about 3 to 4 months. In that meantime, I was, selling things on eBay. I had a regular job at a restaurant, and then I was also starting to sell a little on Amazon, and I made some decent money. But then once I saved up about, $3,000, I decided to hop back into Shopify and, finally started seeing a little more success, but nothing significant until about 6 months from actually coming back. So the main reason was because, like I said, at first I didn't know enough, so I just did not do enough research to get started properly. And then after I did get started properly, I was so hung up in learning everything, every little aspect of dropshipping. I was just obsessed with learning and wasn't really implementing any of the things that I was learning. And I'm sure a lot of you guys find yourself in that situation oftentimes because you think if you're not making sales, there must be a reason out there on YouTube that could explain that, okay? And you always think that there's a secret out there. You always think that there's something you might learn from this video that will get you those results, but that's not really how it is. I try to give you the most value possible so that you actually can see results solely from my YouTube videos, but at the end of the day, it really just comes down to you going out there and testing all these variables, all these things that you're learning, okay? And that's what happened to me. I would learn a ton, but I wouldn't really go and implement it to my fullest extent. So that's the first reason why I think people fail. It's just not doing enough research at first and then doing too much research after that. The second reason why I think most people fail, and this was me included, so all of these things are things that I did, okay? Just keep that in mind. The second thing is actually not testing enough, okay? I understand that's really vague, but it's 100% true. Me personally, the reason why I didn't make it in the first 6 months, or the 6 months after coming back to Shopify, is not because I didn't know enough. It's because actually I wasn't testing enough. I was only testing maybe 1 to 3 products a month, which is super slow, guys. That's very slow. I'd get a couple sales on one, so I would just stick to it. I didn't know enough either, honestly, to really scale anything. So that was really detrimental to me, because if I would have just kept testing similar products to the ones that were working, I would have made much faster progress. And honestly, that's something that I struggle sometimes right now. When I do find a winning product, I get so hung up in it, and it's hard for me to start looking for more products right away and start testing simultaneously, even though that is what brings you the most money. When you have a winner with other potential winners going at the same time, then you can find multiple winners and really compound your store's income. So yes guys, you definitely have to test. Don't overwhelm yourself with testing. Obviously you can get started really profitably and really efficiently, even if you just test, you know, 2 to 3 products a week, or even 1 to 3 products a week. As long as you're testing something new every week, then you'll be in a very good position, and you will learn very quickly what works and what doesn't. And then the third reason why I think most people fail, and like I said, this is something that I did personally as well, is not being consistent enough. And that ties in directly with not testing enough. And consistency is so key, guys. Like, let me give you an example. With skateboarding, I'm big into skateboarding. I love skateboarding. It's like my favorite hobby. When I first started, I didn't know how to, you know, it took me about like a year and a half to learn how to kickflip. It was kind of a year, but like I didn't know how to do it consistently. I would fall a lot. I would, you know, land on with the board upside down and everything, and it was horrible. Like, it was awful, very discouraging. And then after about 2 years, you know, my feet were like more used to the motion. You know, like everything was I kind of understood how to do it better, and like my muscle memory was there, so I was able to do it super easily. Like now kickflips are on lock, you know, like it's super easy to do. But it took that long for my body and like just everything, my mind, to get used to that. And that's the same thing with dropshipping, okay? You're not gonna know all these, like, you're not gonna know how to tell what a winning product is right now. You're not gonna really see why a description might convert better than another, or an ad set, whatever. You need to, you know, get started and just start doing your testing and being consistent to learn. Okay, you need to learn on your own too, you know? You can't just learn from other people all the time. You really need to just go out there and make your own tests and being consistent with it, okay? That's super important. Consistency is the #1 thing that will make you successful, I promise. And then the last thing that I wanted to mention is trying to reinvent the wheel and not looking at the competition enough. That's something that I never did at first, okay? That's one of the reasons why I think it took me so long to finally figure it out, is because I was not looking at the competition at all. Like, I did not think about it for some reason. Like, I guess I wasn't smart enough to like figure that out. But guys, if you see an ad on your Instagram feed, on your Facebook feed, you know, see how many shares it has, click the link, go look at their site, use Commerce Inspector. I do have a video in the description of how you can like spy on stores very easily. But anyways, and that's honestly the best way to learn, just by looking at stores that are working. That's literally what actually started making me successful. It's actually going out there and seeing what the competition was doing, so I could either, you know, like undercut them, I could improve something that they were doing correctly, I could use some of the apps that they were using. All those things are gonna actually propel your success, and you're gonna be able to succeed much quicker and efficiently. So guys, those are all the things that I think you should definitely start doing right now. These are things that make people fail. Definitely watch this video over again if you didn't, you know, quite understand some of them, but these are things that are actually gonna help you succeed. These are things that I wish I would have known back then, because like I said, I made all of these mistakes, and that's why it took me as long as it has to actually finally succeed. So hopefully you take that as motivation, that it inspires you. Like I always say, guys, implement these tips. And by the way, guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that you do, and definitely turn on your notifications for the channel, because as always, I'm dropping the craziest value out of anyone out here on YouTube. I know that's a bold claim, but I truly think it's, like, I very much believe in that, and hopefully you see that too. So definitely subscribe. That I would greatly appreciate it. That would be the best way to support me. And yes, that's all I got for you today, so I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.